Hi, welcome to my channel, and today I am going to be going through my most anticipated reads for this spring and this summer. So I normally do this monthly, but recently there's only been like one or two books I've been interested in. So I thought for the spring and summer I'm just going to put everything together and make one video. As you probably know, I use iMovie to edit videos and there's no way of putting pictures up in the corner. So you're going to have to bear with me. I won't have any pictures of the books that I'm talking about. I'll start with April, obviously, it's next month. And there's only one book that I'm interested in, and that's called Traitor in the Family by Nicholas Searle, I believe. Now, this one caught my attention. I am into the kind of thriller-y kind of books. I don't like horror, but thriller is okay. And this one is based around a woman called Bridget, and her husband is a terrorist who is basically willing to die for his cause. And I believe the book follows her. I think something comes about where she can leave this man, but she's like, should she? Would it make him worse? And it follows that kind of plot line, I think. So I haven't pre-ordered this yet. In fact, I haven't pre-ordered any books on this list just because I've been down on money a bit recently. So I think these are more likely a walk into the shop and buy kind of thing. But yeah, that seems quite interesting. I've never read any of Nicholas's books before, but I am willing to branch out into that direction. I know this month in March, I've basically been reading a lot of thrillers and trying to get them all out the way before the summer starts. But yeah, I can't wait to give that a go. And in May, again, there's only one book, and you can probably guess what that is. That is A Court of Wings and Ruin. I basically don't have to mention this, and it's by Sarah J Maas, by the way, but again, you probably already know this. I am super excited for this book. It's probably the book that I'm most excited about this year. Basically, A Court of Thorns and Roses, that's the title of the series. It follows Fairy, and she's into this world full of high fays, and it's hard to explain without giving away any spoilers, but you just have to read it. The first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses, is basically retelling Beauty and the Beast, and I just love it, and I just hope A Court of Wings and Ruin is good. I hope people don't die, because I've heard in Sarah J Maas books lots of people do die, and I'm just hoping none of them do, because I won't be prepared for it. And I'm not sure whether this is the last book. I'm not sure whether it's meant to be a trilogy or whether it's going to be more books, but I'm just hoping it's good as I think it is, and the cover is amazing as well. And then in June there's Our Dark Duet, which is the sequel to This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. I am looking forward to this so much. This Savage Song was a book that was just different. It's based around this world, I forget where it is, and basically a town split in two. There's monsters and there's humans, and monsters are created about certain things people do. So August, one of the main characters, he's a Sunai, and he's the worst kind of monster there is, and he is born out of like mass killings and stuff like that. And then there's Kate Harker, who is the daughter of the main guy in the human side, and I just love it. And it's a book where the girl and boy just don't fall in love, and Our Dark Duet, I think it's going to take it in a completely different direction, and I don't want to say why because again spoilers, but it's a book that you do have to read. It is just amazing, and Our Dark Duet I'm hoping will be real good as well. And I just want to mention the UK cover as well. On the UK cover of This Savage Song, it's kind of like this black splatter, and there's a rose, which I don't really understand why the rose is there, but Our Dark Duet, the splatter goes into a violin, and I'm just so happy about that. I mean, the violin and music in general is such a big part of the series, and oh, I just can't say enough. You really, really do have to read this series. I mean, I think it's only a duology, so Our Dark Duet will be the last book, but you just have to read it. And it's made me want to read more V.E. Schwab books. I've never heard of her until I read the Savage Song, and she's just so good. Now in July there's two books that I'm interested in. The first one is All That She Can See by Carrie Hope Fletcher. Now you've probably heard of Carrie Hope Fletcher before. She's a big YouTuber over It's Way Past My Bedtime, and she's been in musicals such as Les Miserables, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and she's going to be playing Wednesday in The Addams Family, which I am super excited about. Last year she had her debut novel released, On the Other Side, and I really, really liked it. And then I noticed on the Waterstones website you can pre-order All That She Can See, and I have no idea what it's about. I don't know whether she's mentioned it on her YouTube channel and I've just so happened to miss it. I know she's writing. I'm probably going to pre-order this book because I am such a huge fan of Carrie Hope Fletcher and just the Fletchers in general. Giovanna Fletcher is my favourite author. Tom Fletcher is just amazing. I can't say enough words about this family, but I can't wait. I have no idea what it's about, and I am just going to get that pre-ordered as soon as I get paid. Also in July there's Because You Love to Hate Me. Now this is a collection of short stories written by famous YA authors. I think Lee Bardugo's in there. I'm not quite sure who else is in there, but they've teamed up with a booktuber and they're basically writing novels based on famous villains. Now, I don't really read short story collections, but I want to, and I think this is the perfect book for me to start with, because one, it's villains, and I love a good villain, and two, there's some booktubers in there. I think Read by Zoe is one of them. Maybe Peru's Project, I'm not too sure. And I think Jessie the Reader as well. I think those three are in there, I'm not too sure. But I just love the idea of just retellings of famous villains and getting booktubers in there as well, because a lot of booktubers are people who want to start writing their own books, and I think it's such a good platform for them to get out there. But I'm probably going to be pre-ordering that as well, and that's out in July. And now for August, the last month, this is Dividing Eden, a book that I've recently come across, and that is going to be by, I'm going to pronounce this wrong by the way, Joelle Charbonneau. I think that's how it's pronounced. This is a book about some twins who were not in line for the throne of Eden. Their older brother was meant to take the throne, but then he's killed. So then they have to go through some sort of system, some sort of kind of like trial, to see which one of them will become king or queen of Eden. And I like that kind of thing. It's kind of reminding me a bit about Three Dark Crowns, but it might not be as what's the word? I want to say violent, but I don't mean violent, because obviously they need to kill each other, but in Dividing Eden I don't think they need to kill each other. But that sounds really interesting, and that is out in August. Again, I haven't heard of this author before. I think it might be a debut novel, I'm not too sure, but I believe it's part of a series, the start of one, and I just think it'd be really interesting to read. So that's just a quick summary of all the books I'm interested in this summer, and I will get around to pre-ordering some of them, especially Caught Wings and Ruin, Our Dark Duet, and All That She Can See. I think those three are definitely going to be pre-orders. The other ones might just be ones that I go out and buy, because hopefully in a few months this shelf should be empty and then I will be allowed to buy books. So yeah. So that's it for this video, and I will see you later with a new one. And as usual, you can always follow me on my social media down here. So I will see you later. Bye!